Lisa on. Let's see if I can do this.
Hey,
Okay.
everybody. Amy's just getting us connected on Instagram. So
I
thanks for
don't
your
see you.
patience.
I don't see a
Invite me.
request.
You have to invite me.
Oh. No, brothers. Oh, here we go. Invite. There we go. Hey, hi,
Okay.
I'm Amy Roloff.
Woohoo!
Instagram. I'm tapping into Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. So I'm Amy Roloff. So thank you guys for joining me along with Lisa. We're
Hey.
just kind of two friends that I guess just like to catch up and on life and family and the show and food. I mean, what else is there to talk about? I know. Don't answer that
Plenty.
question. Yeah,
Plenty.
I was going to say there is plenty, but we don't need to go into that other field. We already have our game going on here,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
and that's politics. I think we've had enough of
Uh-oh.
it in our daily life, however you receive your info. So yeah. So
I
anyway,
got cut off of Instagram. I think you have to invite me again.
okay. It's always something.
It's always something.
Oh, I need to.
Oh, I'm
Okay, are
here.
you on?
I am now, but I don't see you.
Well, because do you see me now?
Not on Instagram. It's the wheel is spinning. You guys, we were
Well,
30
Instagram,
minutes
can you tell me?
early.
Can you guys hear me? Can you see me? That would be a good piece of information.
That is funny. Okay. Someone says, hi, Lisa. Can you see Amy on Instagram? Can you guys? Oh, I don't know. My wheel is just spinning. I can't see you, but
Okay.
let's just keep going.
If you
Oh,
guys don't understand right now, I'm on the west side. She is on the east side. Let's just say Lisa needs to move to the west side. I'm just
can you
saying.
invite me one more time, please? It keeps
Okay.
saying thank you for joining and it disconnects me.
I don't know.
Can you invite me one more time? I think we need this to start earlier or something. I don't know. Okay.
Well, I don't understand.
Yeah, it's not, for some reason, it's not letting me
Okay,
connect.
well, let's just keep going because I think I'm on mine.
Yeah,
So, anyway, Instagram, you're just going to hear me. So, I will try and include you in on life.
for
But
right
anyway,
now.
Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, thank you for being on.
Yay.
Um, let's see. I don't know. Hello, everywhere. Hello.
Let's
We've got
see. We've got lots of
oh,
people.
we've got England. We have Colorado, and
Here we go.
let's see, Texas. Texas, you guys are going through a lot, and we got Mexico, Costa
Okay.
Rica, West Virginia, Ohio, New Orleans.
Yeah. I mean, how's everybody doing?
Oops.
All going through the heat wave. We don't have it yet, but we're supposed to get it next week, right? The heat wave.
Oh yeah, no, we are. I'm wondering why I hear you as an echo.
I turned
But we got San Diego, we
off.
got Boston. Oh, Michigan here. Oh, Lena, Michigan, love it.
Ooh.
Florida. You know what I would love to do?
What?
I would like to do a travel podcast and just park it in some of these small towns and just have like a little podcast and just describe the things we did or saw and
I
just
would
talk to
love
those
that.
people, then go to the next town. And because I mean, look at this. Dallas, Oregon, Florida,
Oh,
uh, Anniston, Louisiana, Colorado. We got Pittsburgh, Southern Illinois. We got Vancouver, Canada,
Grand
Pennsylvania.
Rapids.
I mean,
Oh,
come
I
on.
want to shout out to
Salem,
my niece.
Oregon. Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
really?
hello.
Hey, I see my niece Anna on from California. Yay, good to see you.
Oh, yeah. Who else was I supposed to say hi to? Ellen, if you're on here. Hello, hello, Ellen, my friend in Michigan. Let's see who else. Who else could be on here? Well, you all are on here.
Rose and Steve, Ontario, Canada. Welcome. Oh, I
Yeah.
saw Morocco on your Instagram. Wow.
Long Island,
Wow.
New York. Niagara
Let's
Falls, Canada. That's awesome. Australia.
Tucson, Arizona.
Wow. Well, let's get going. We've got to say we've got some special shout out. We kind of do some special shout outs. I
Yeah.
appreciate you all being fans, but we kind of just randomly pick some other names that are just special fans of Little People Big World. So I really, really appreciate that. Appreciate you all watching the show. And as we've come to an end to season 23. Now, think about that, people. Season
23.
23. Can you
Wow.
believe that? Season
Wow.
23.
Wow.
Back in the day, I was thinking if we'd get past season 1 or 2.
You wanted to get through it.
Well, probably at the time, because when has there not been something going on
I know.
in my family and in our life?
It
But
never stops. It never
but the thing
stops.
is, that was family, that was life, that was living on the farm, that was us being married, that was us, I guess, what do you say, falling apart, but
Oh,
starting over, seeing my kids becoming who they are now. I mean, basically, you all have seen a generation kind of like,
oh, for
um,
sure. The second generation's already here.
yeah,
So, yeah. Let's do a few more shout outs and then we'll be done. I wanted to say a
yes,
special shout out to Bunny Bronson.
oh yeah,
Hi, Bunny. We saw her a few months ago. She did a whole train ride across the United States.
yeah. Hi,
And
Bunny. I think we said hi to her the last time, but I'm
yeah,
so glad you're on again.
I
So
just
thank
saw
you,
her
Bunny.
pop in. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, and then we have Carrie Clark from Fargo, North Dakota.
Wesley Simpson from New York,
Lori Bennett from Boston, Massachusetts.
and Marjorie Mintz from Seattle, Washington. So
Hey,
look at this. We
welcome.
got Boston, we have New York, we have North Dakota, we have Seattle. Man, we're all over the country.
I love it. I love it.
I need to get a
Oh,
map and put one of those push pins in it,
pins. Yes.
and
Didn't you have
well,
that? Where?
a world map. Well, we had it at the farm, so it was
Yes, I
really
saw that.
interesting. Sometimes over the years during pumpkin season, to see, where did everyone come from, especially those that flew in or even when they drove. So it was really interesting to see where people came from. And I tell you, we were just amazed. I was dumbfounded,
That was a cool
that
map.
people came from all over, really.
Do you still
And
have that map? Is it in the
well,
barn?
it had push pins in it. We might have taken a picture of it
Yeah,
or
I'd love
something,
to see
but
the
we
picture.
but we do have a map. But to me, it just reminded me at how appreciative and to stay humble. Let's
Hmm.
not, as we did the show over the years, it helped me not to, or I did my best to try and not get my feet off the ground and think I'm, something else than just trying to be me.
Yeah. Terry
So,
P said she's watched the show since the beginning. Very
oh
cool.
wow,
I'm sure a lot of people have. So,
yeah, yeah.
well, we have a lot of great info to cover today. We will have a recap of the season finale. Hope everybody's watched it. Right, Amy?
Yeah,
Wink,
what did you
wink.
all think about that season
Oh,
finale?
dear. And then we're going to have our giveaway like we do every time at the end of the show. So wait for uh, the code word. We're not going to say it right now. We'll wait till the end of the show, but we'll do an Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube winner. So we'll have 4 winners. And we'll have a spa pack with the 3 soaks and the vanilla scented candles. So hang on for that. And
Look at Lisa. She would be great on QVC.
let's get started. I'm Vanna. I'm Vanna. It's an A, the letter A.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, so, yeah, I hope everybody's watched. And if you haven't, it might be a spoiler alert, but You should watch.
No, I think you know, it's summertime. I think in the heat of the day, it's kind of nice to stay in your AC and kind of pick your
Yes.
favorite show. And if Little People Big World is you know, one of them, I like I said, I'm very appreciative. It's like watching a distant family, relatives, family that, you know, most of the time you may never meet, but here we are.
Right.
So anyway, so yeah,
Yeah.
let's get started on that because that's probably the big question of the day.
Yeah.
The the last episode of season 23. Now, let
Yeah.
me just tell you this: we are currently filming, and I'm assuming we're filming for more episodes. But that is not
Yeah.
my choice. I don't know what you know the network will decide to do later on. But I'm assuming that at some point you guys will see you know what we've been filming. So I'm very appreciative that we are still filming for another season, and you guys will just have to wait and see, just like me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I I just do my thing, and you know we wait and see. So anyway,
Yeah.
so
Well, I
yeah,
think
I
the
think this.
finale was pretty informal and emotional.
Yeah,
But it really brought everything full circle, I think, for the season. It just kind of set up, and you can talk about a little bit of the buyout
yeah,
from the farm,
yeah,
kind of what you assumed and kind of lead
yeah,
into that.
yeah. I think there was a lot going on here. You know, boy, man, where do I start? There was a lot going on in this last episode. And even though I watch my episode, I don't like intently focus on it. I've said this over and over and before. Um, you know, when you film it and then like 3 months, 4 months later, you see a rough cut out of it, which is pretty much done. It's not like we can re-edit this whole episode because the amount of time and money it took to get to where it's at is huge, tremendous. I
Hmm.
mean, the editing people, it's like, oh my goodness. Anyway, and so to see it then and then to see it again, sometimes it's like, can I ever get away from my past? Because it still keeps coming up in
Right.
that like 6 months, 8 months, or that
Uh,
year.
how about like
So,
2 years? When was your divorce final?
well, um, you know, we've been doing this for 23 seasons. We were separated in late 2013, early 14. I was served divorce papers in early 15. Our divorce became final early first quarter of 2016. Then I looked for a house in 2019, and
Hmm.
2019 was a crazy, crazy year for me
Right. Right.
um, because all of it led into, you know, I'm not going to say I felt like it would be best for me to move away from the farm, just with the thoughts and the feelings that I seem to have had from the kids and
Hmm.
definitely from Matt, and let them negotiate all of that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, 2019 was looking for a house almost 3 quarters of the year, which it was tough looking for a house. Moving from a house into a neighborhood, it was tough. And then, you know,
But
miraculously, Chris proposed to me.
right. Right.
And then after he proposed to me, a week later, my mom passed away.
Right.
And so there was just so much going on in my world. But to recap this last episode,
Well, can
the
we
biggest
stop for
question that
one
I,
second? Hold on
why?
one second. Because you negotiated selling your
I was
part
going to
of the
get into
farm.
that.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was go for it. Sorry.
No, no, you know what? That's what my producers say. But you know what? I can't answer a question about my personal life in 5 words or less.
You
And
just
so,
keep going. I'll just sip my sangria, my summer sangria while you're talking.
oh, I've got my wedding drink here going on because
Okay.
we will be celebrating 1 year being married here soon.
Yes.
So, you know, before I started looking for a house, you know, Matt and I negotiated. And one of the biggest questions that I get is, why didn't I buy the farm? frankly, I'm in a spot, woulda, shoulda, coulda, but I can't do that. I can't go there. I can't have that part of my thinking. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, and I would not recommend. You can look back, and hopefully, moving forward, you may look at things differently and ask questions or gain that type of information, and hopefully make better choices or decisions. But I can't go back. But because this last episode aired, yes, woulda, shoulda, coulda, definitely came in. So Matt bought me out of half the value of the property based on a 2-year appraisal
Hold.
value.
Right.
So, meaning it was 2 years old because it took us time to negotiate and, all this other stuff. And then, so because of, general conversations that we had, I accepted that based on the fact that I thought, well, because we're based on a 2-year, okay, you take that, Matt, plus you'll add some on there, rightfully so. I mean, the property
Mhm.
has definitely increased in value. I was imagining a certain amount, definitely not what is on the market right now because my kids couldn't afford that.
Right.
And so, and so, um, so
So you
anyway, that was my assumption. So I accepted his buyout on one part on the property that he lives on because we both owned it. I took that money to buy the house that I'm in right now. Then when I sold the farm, well, basically when I sold the farmhouse is what I'm talking about, a 2-year-old proposal. Sorry, I'm all over the page. And so I thought, the kids would have an opportunity, a much more reasonable opportunity if they could or wanted to negotiate. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, I wasn't part of the negotiation conversations. I don't know what was said or what was dealt or any of that. And I'm sad that over the years that my kids have subtly been, that's been the tone of raising our family on the farm. That one day someone else will,
Mhm.
one of them will probably end up buying it. You know, we
Yeah.
didn't care who it was; it's just someone would
Right.
buy it.
And they were told that over and over again
Oh
in
yeah,
different scenarios.
yeah.
Someday this will be yours. Someday this will be yours.
And so
Yeah.
when one of both of them stepped up at different moments, I won't get into the details of
No.
who stepped up first and how that kind of crumbled between the two brothers. But um, anyway, so it is what it is. It's on the market, and unfortunately, yeah, unfortunately, I let
Well,
fear and the amount of money that was even just half the value for me was a lot, but it would have taken everything that I had to buy Matt out. And I would guess I was too afraid to say, well, how can I recoup that? Like, what would I do? So anyway,
right.
woulda, shoulda, coulda, regrets,
Well,
maybe.
I think a part maybe you left out that could have made the kids upset is that he also reduced the size of the
That is true.
property.
Okay, you're
And
right. I
that was
did
said. Yeah.
because I was bought out on all 33 acres. Now he's selling it for half the acreage that the original side of that property, the north side of the property. So
Mhm.
yeah, that to me is a big difference. So,
Yeah. And
you
I
know,
think one of his comments was the kids felt entitled
yeah.
and that he didn't think they could take care of it, so he said he would end up taking care of it, but
I think
yeah.
a lot of times parents think, especially when they own a business or when they own a farm or something like that, never think the kid is going to do it like they've done it.
No.
My thinking is they shouldn't be doing it like you do it because they will
Right.
never meet up with those standards or with those parameters or any of that. No kid is going to do it like their parents do. You need
Yeah.
to allow them to be able to do it that works for them, that helps them be successful, that helps them accomplish whatever they want to accomplish. So if one of the kids, bought the farm, I think either one of them would have done a great job. Would they have done
Absolutely.
it like Matt? Absolutely not, because Matt's
No.
got a different style, a different personality. So does Jeremy, and so does Zach.
Mhm.
But even if it all grew up in weeds or something like that,
It's their property, they can
okay,
do what they want.
yeah, it is
Yeah,
their property.
yeah.
It would be hard for Matt to see that happen, but under no circumstances, from my opinion, would he ever have to go over there and maintain it or whatever.
No,
Um,
no.
they might ask him for advice or input, but none of them, Jeremy, Zach, none of them would ever assume or expect, I should say, expect
Yeah,
that Matt would be helping them out or
yeah,
needing to help them maintain it.
yeah.
So,
And
but the thing that I hope it is what it is now. The for sale sign is up,
mhm.
and I just hope with that kind of final thing, um, it's going to take some time for us all to adjust to that. That like, wow,
Yeah.
it to us. It will not be Roloff Farm. To someone else, yes, absolutely. It still will be whatever they perceived it to be, or if they've never seen the show, it is what it is.
Mhm.
But for us, it will never be the family farm or Roloff Farms.
Yeah.
Matt still owns, all of the south side because that was a separate tax lot. Now part of the north side, which he split.
Because he changed that. Yeah, he
Yeah,
changed the
it's a property line adjustment.
mhm.
And so, he could live there, build his house. He could live there for 10 years and sell it. He can do whatever he wants with it.
Right, right, you're out of
Um,
it. But don't you
but
think reducing the
well,
farm
so is all the kids, unless depending on what's left or whatever he does, he leaves. He divides it, the portion of it. But still, the kids are going to have to sell that farm unless someone buys someone else out.
right,
So
the way it's
again,
set
if
up.
someone buys someone else out, a kid will still own all the property, but they get the either way. The kids would have got their money. It's my sister works for a firm that deals with a lot of estate planning, and we're talking these people have money, 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 and I can just only imagine
Yeah.
what the scenarios are with those families.
Oh, yeah.
People, you'd be amazed at what families. Boy, I don't like these glasses.
I like them.
But I can't see
Oh,
what people will fight over.
right,
And
right,
it's funny because my sister's been in Michigan. She lives there. I mean, that's the state I grew up in. She's been taking care of my dad in the sense of checking up on him and making sure his estate is all set up, his trust and everything. And I think both my brother and I just both said, we all three of us will try and work whatever we can work out. But basically, whatever we work out cannot end up being a burden for Kathy when my dad passes away because she lives in Michigan. It,
mhm,
it, it just can't be, regardless of what I want or maybe Roger wants, because we're out of state and we want this place to stay here because we want to come back and visit one time a year,
yeah,
or something.
yeah,
So
yeah,
like you have to make up your mind that it's not worth dividing the rest of the family over. Do what you think is best.
right,
And I think if one of the boys owned the property, my hope would be that, yeah, they own the property. They get to do whatever they want to it. They could
right.
tell the family, none of you guys are allowed on it, but that wouldn't have happened. It
No,
just wouldn't have
no,
happened.
no. And
And
I think,
we still, but out of respect of whoever owns it within the family, you still got to call them up and say, hey,
sure,
we were just thinking about popping in, can we hang out at the farm? You don't have to get the door. We're not going in your house. But anyway,
right. Well, and I think that was a surprise to the boys of reducing the property. I don't think they were expecting that either when they were going in to negotiate with Matt. I think that was one of the bigger shocks that upset them.
I'm not sure if that was the first round of a negotiation, whether that was in the picture or not, or it became in the second round of negotiation. part of doing that.
Right,
So, like I
right.
said, I wasn't part of those conversations, so I can't really say on it. But you're right.
Yeah,
I think asking for that kind of money with only half, I mean, Jeremy even went back a second time, but
yeah.
even at the family discount, which it
What's
was
that?
still a
What
whole
does
heck of
that
a
mean?
it was still meaning
I know.
in Matt's eyes, he wasn't putting it up full market value. But even at that price, it would have
For
taken
half.
everything that he had.
Yeah,
And I said, "Is it worth it, Jer? I mean, you got a family.
yeah.
Is it worth it to be that?"
And
And
it
so,
was a
yeah.
lot more than what you got bought out for,
Oh gosh,
so
yeah.
yeah,
Oh, well, I only get half the value anyway
yeah.
because,
Well, I
you know,
yeah,
you're not buying yourself out. You're only
I
buying the other
know.
person who owns half of it.
I know, I know. I thought Matt also said in an episode before that he was going to let everybody know individually that because it was sensitive information that he was selling, and then he sent everyone one email, like a group email to everybody, just to let them know. And Zach on the show
Tell you
said,
the truth,
"We don't
tell you the truth,
care."
I think it was probably best that he sent it out to everyone all at one time, so that sometimes when you send out a text message, you send it out to one, and then a day later, because you forget, you send it out to the other, or something like that.
Yeah, but in an email, couldn't he have at least gotten the family together? I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
But yeah,
I don't know.
no, it's
Yeah,
and Zach is right. No one responded to it because it became past. It's past.
yeah,
But
yeah,
to cap all of this, I think in the long run, now that it's up for sale, whenever someone does buy it for however much, I think it really matters, what I do, what Chris and I do, what Matt does, what Matt and Karen do, um, and then how the kids are able to process this. Two of my kids are like, whatever. It really impacted the boys a lot. And
hmm,
so maybe this could be the process that at least helps internally. It helps us get past this to a point where um, we want to. They all show up for
closure.
family events. Don't get me wrong. We show
Yeah.
up for birthday parties and certain things like that. But maybe other than special holidays or something like that, maybe we can all just get together and just hang
Yeah.
out for the sake of hanging out.
Well, what
So
I
anyway,
love is that Zach and Tori have their own property.
yeah.
Jer and Odge have their own
Mhm.
property. They post all the time about that, and it's on the show for Zach and Tori. But wow, they've just started their own legacies
Well, and
and
Molly and
how,
Joel are up in
yeah,
Spokane, and that's
yeah.
where they've been for the last 4 years of college. They've been married. I can't even believe they've been married 5 years.
They have? I remember the wedding.
Yeah, they've been married 5
Wow.
years.
Wow.
They will be married 5 years here in a couple weeks. Isabel and Jacob will be celebrating 3 come September. Zachary and Tori celebrate their 7th wedding anniversary,
Oh,
and
oh,
Jeremy and Audrey will be celebrating their 8th. Now, to me as a mom,
8?
as sad as the farm is,
Yeah,
I'm just thrilled that these my kids
they're
have
thriving.
found their life partner, have these families, have each other, and they're thriving, and the
Yes.
boys are able to move on, and stuff like that. So
Yep.
check. Well,
If you haven't watched the
Molly and Joel
episode,
aren't on social media, which is totally understandable if you knew who they were. But yeah, follow Jaron
yeah,
Odge and then Zach and
yeah,
Tori and
yeah. Just
Isabel
watching
and Jacob.
their
They're
story,
all different kids.
and they're
You
all doing
know?
well, all of
Yeah,
them. So that's the best
yeah,
part of all this, right?
yeah.
That they've moved
I
on,
think so.
everybody moves on, put a button on this, and
But that's life too. I mean, there was a comment somewhere, several comments anywhere that people think, I'm living in the past and all this other stuff.
No,
Well, like I said from the beginning, okay, I filmed the thing, but I've got to preview it 4 months later. I got to watch it, a couple months after that. So,
I think it was
um,
hard for Matt to
you
come
know,
up with replies to what was going on. I think he was at a
well, you
loss
know
for
what?
words.
I'm sure it was hard for him in a lot of ways. And, but like I said, Matt's a business person and
Yeah, he said it was an unpopular decision. So,
yeah,
oh well, you know.
yeah. So
Well,
anyway,
let's wrap
so
that up. We got that.
I just want you all to, hopefully you've watched the season, watch this last episode. I hope it says a lot. Like I said,
Mhm.
on these types of reality shows where all I can speak of is my own. We air the laundry out, but people, you cannot expect that we're going to air all of the laundry out
Everything.
because there is just so much
Yeah.
that you just won't get even if I did, because it's from my perspective. And then you get another perspective from another family member, and then another perspective from another family member, and so on and so on. So, but I think you can learn from personal stories and stuff like that. And
Oh yeah.
I just continue to hope that you guys still follow us and still watch the show, and um, because the journey continues, and it's going to be really
Yes.
interesting to see what that next journey is.
Right, right. And I really felt in this episode you found your voice. You were
Hmm.
straightforward. You didn't back down. You just told it as you felt it
Sometimes when you
was.
don't feel like you're in the middle of it,
Mhm.
just like I mean, we could ask half these people here, that are on this live. Sometimes when you're not in the middle of it, you now step back and you're
It's
almost like
easier.
everyone else. You can now
Absolutely.
see into this. But when you're in the
Absolutely.
middle of it, all you can
Yeah.
see, is around yourself. And it's
That's a
hard to
good
see
point.
all of these other parts because you have to somewhat kind of take care of yourself or your kids. And there's definitely parts you miss. So,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
So,
Well,
anyway.
I think that's good. How about taking some questions? Do we want to take
Oh
some
my gosh,
questions?
yeah. You know what?
Let's
Because
look.
your questions are one of the things that I so, so love. So, okay,
Okay.
where are we now?
Okay.
Yael Reese on
Yep, on
IG asks,
Instagram. Yeah.
is there going to be another season of Little People, Big World? Well, all I can tell you right now is that we are filming. Because we are filming, I'm assuming that there will be another season. But stay tuned. Like it has been in the past, with whatever we're filming, if the season does come out, it may not come out until like March or April of next year. So just stay
Oh,
tuned, watch Discovery, stay tuned to TLC
yeah.
and things like that. And they'll, because when they make an announcement or something like that, that's kind of when we know too. So,
Right, right.
you know,
Yes. So that's
so I
good.
hope so. Let's put
Yeah.
it that way. I hope so.
Okay. How about Rachel Cruel on Instagram asks, is it difficult sharing your life on TV?
Well, I'll tell you that could be a whole live version in itself. Yeah, in the beginning it was very very difficult. I try to be constraint, be careful of what I said, and then after a little bit of doing it, it seemed like from internally, I may not have said this right, or why did I say this? This was too much, and stuff like that. And then I took it in the realm. You know what? I just can't. I can't. I won't please everyone. I
Yeah.
won't please the
Yeah.
fans that are watching. I won't please internally. I won't. So who do you need to please the most in order to feel good about what you're doing and as you proceed? And that's me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, what I tried to do over the life of the TV show is to be honest, to be real, to be humble, but also to be somewhat in control because I don't think it's appropriate on TV to say everything that you want to say
Right.
because I don't have control over editing. And so I learned that over the first couple of seasons or 5 seasons maybe.
Right.
So,
Right.
you know, what
Yeah.
you see of me on TV, I try and be honest, I try and be real, I try and be caring and thoughtful because that's who I think I am.
Hmm.
And so, yeah,
I can
in the
attest to that.
beginning, in the beginning it was hard, but I enjoy the opportunity to share life on TV because if there's one little thing that someone got out of our story on TLC, I would count that as a success. And that's like every speaking engagement that I do. Not everyone's going to enjoy what I have to say or,
Hmm.
because pretty much it's about me. It's about my life. This is what I've been
Yeah.
doing for what, gosh, 16 years, 17 years is,
Right. Right.
on television. So I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about life. But um, but if there's one person in that audience that I'm speaking to that got something out of what I was speaking, um, I count that as a success
Hmm.
because I took the burden off that I'm not going to please everyone. Not
Right.
everyone's going to get or even believe or even understand or even feel it applicable in their
Yeah.
life. And the problem is not the problem. It's like that's okay.
Yeah.
It's like that's okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Here's a
anyway,
comment from somebody in the audience. I'll just
yeah.
say this: meatless meatballs.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All of you who are vegan and vegetarians, bless your heart. Bless your heart.
Absolutely.
Um, I personally would have a hard time. Um, I've tried tofu. I'm sorry, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I can't even remember the brand that I use for meatless meatballs. It would be like a vegetarian or maybe a vegan, their reaction of how I reacted to this meatless product and turn it into meatballs.
Yeah. Yeah.
I looked at it and I'm like, I'm feeding them dog food. I mean, like,
Well,
what?
first you fed Matt mushrooms on a different show, and
I
then you
know,
do
but you
the
know what?
meatless
Those were
meatball.
listen, those were cut up in such little pieces.
I
I mean,
know.
come on.
I do that at Thanksgiving too. I
Oh
chop the
my
mushroom
God.
up into tiny pieces so my kids don't know there's mushrooms in the stuffing.
Well, Chris doesn't
Anyway.
like onions because he's sitting right over there.
Oh,
He's sitting right over there. But Chris doesn't like onions. So I try not to put a lot in, but I try and like chop them up, really fine because it adds a certain kind of
yes, I
flavor.
love it. I love it.
Oh
And
my
my kids
gosh.
don't know the difference. But anyway,
So
we'll
when
get
I
on to another question. I
well, no,
mean,
when I did the meatless meatballs, I was like, oh, this is going to take everything I have because I wanted to throw up right then and there. But okay, meatless meatballs. I made it like I typically would with ground beef. So like I said, bless you that are vegan and vegetarian. I think it's great. Don't get me wrong. It's
yeah.
just not something for me. And I married a guy. He's a meat and potatoes man.
Mary Ritchie on here said that, "Will you get used to the taste?" And it's kind of like, well, maybe you will, maybe you won't, but it's good for anybody that loves it, eat
Oh
it,
yeah,
you know. But
no, absolutely. And
I
like I
just
said,
thought
I
that
made
was a
like
funny
a
scene.
meatloaf, so I thought it would be hide
Yeah.
the whatever. I don't know.
I just love those little things that
I couldn't handle it.
come out in those scenes.
Yeah.
So they're
But
funny.
cauliflower rice, the
Oh yeah,
best.
that's
Oh
good.
my gosh.
So good.
That was really good. The best. I loved
Yeah,
it.
that was good.
Loved it.
Okay, let's see. Pumpkin season this fall. Any
Well, wait a
news
minute.
on?
We got some more questions. Marsha Pierce,
I
Facebook.
thought we already. I thought
Did
we
you
already
ever
kind of
second guess
answered
selling
that.
your side of the farm to Matt? Well, Marsha, if you happen to be on this live, hopefully you will. um, I think I already answered that. So parts of
Yeah,
me, yes, I do regret because I think I could have made a different choice on that, but also different choices of what I did with it afterwards. But anyway,
yeah, yeah.
um,
Yeah.
So, lots of questions. You guys did have lots of questions. I didn't really read the opinions um, about Matt and Karen, but about the farm and pumpkin season this fall.
Yeah.
From what I've heard from Matt, pumpkin season is still going to happen. So, if you guys are making your plans at pumpkin season, you know what you could do me a big favor on? If you happen to be coming to pumpkin season this year, email Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen, or some people have found my email out there and you know,
Uh-oh.
social media land. Let me know what day you're coming. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be there every weekend. I really haven't made up my mind what I'm able to do or what I'm going to do. But oh yeah, someone said hi from Michigan. You guys, I'm sorry. When I see Michigan, that's my home state. So sorry. Anyway, let me know if you're coming out for pumpkin season, and I'd be happy to say hi and meet you and get a photo or whatever you want. So, pumpkin
Yeah.
season, as far as I know, is on.
As far as you know, yeah, because
And
that's not your
you know
gig
what? For some
anymore.
reason, Naveed, if you're on here, I
What?
can't remember what the Roloff Farm website is because some other people have stole that name that we originally wanted to put it on.
Oh.
So I was going to tell people to go to this the website. I'm not sure if it's uh,
Post on social when Roloff Farms is going to
well, I
open and
know, but
all
I
of
was
that,
just going to
right?
tell everyone here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
pumpkin season is still happening, but it won't happen
As far
probably.
as you know today.
Yeah, it won't happen in the traditional way. If you've ever been to Roloff Farms pumpkin patch before, it won't happen near the old farmhouse. Because of COVID, Matt moved it all towards his property and his side of it in order to make it a little more COVID friendly, a little more user friendly, that kind of thing. So,
Okay. I wonder.
and has the farm sold yet? As of I know, it hasn't sold yet. No.
No. I wanted to give a shout out to Linda Vivas from Naples, Florida. I have friends that just moved down there half time. They live half time in Oregon and half time in Naples,
Are those your
Florida.
friends?
Yeah, some people that live
Okay.
next door to us. So yeah, pretty exciting. I want to go visit down there.
Well, Alicia and Randy are down in my friends, Alicia and Randy. Some of you guys may have seen them on the show once or twice or something like that, but they're down in Florida now. And Chris wants to take a trip down to Florida and see
Oh
them.
yeah.
And I'm like, well, if we see them, I got my nephew in Port St. Lucie. I mean, I'm going to go see, him. And then, well, my Aunt Joan, who came to my wedding,
Oh
dad's,
yes.
who is my dad's sister.
She
I
was
mean,
really
I
nice.
cannot not see her. I mean, come on. They're
Yeah.
both in their
Yeah.
90s. I mean, goodness gracious.
Oh, that someone
Oh,
wanted to know, how's your dad doing?
okay. This is the one thing I'm bummed about because obviously I'm still doing television and I can't be on vacation all summer long. Well, I couldn't even afford to be on vacation all summer long. But we took this big motorcycle trip, to Alaska and everything. And, that was 18 days and it was a wonderful trip. I mean, I could go on and on. I think what the trip told me most about myself, I think I need to be a little more proactive on where we're going and what we're doing because I still have a hard time um, of seeing everything whiz by me. But if you're a writer, that's the thrill. Like you're riding in this open area, small, unbusy roads. But I'm like, wait a minute, look at these gorgeous mountains passing by.
We're
Oh, this
flying
small
by.
town.
Zzz.
It's like, can we? So I think
Oh,
just like any road trip for that many days, you pick the highlights of, we'll spend 2 nights here, meaning a night when we get there, a day to see the sights or take a hike or ride around and then the next day you take off. So I
yeah,
think I'll be a little more proactive on this is what I think we should do.
yeah.
So anyway,
And maybe have a few stops. I
yeah.
really commend you for sitting on a motorcycle that many days I mean,
Yeah.
physically, I don't know if I could do it.
You
How
know
did
what?
you
I
feel when
think
you got off?
I think there were some days when it seemed like the scenery was repetitive,
Mhm.
the same old. Because just like on an airplane, I get what you would call like a little anxiety. Like I'm too enclosed. It's like I
Yeah.
got to get out, like claustrophobic. Or sometimes, like I get this, I think what they call restless leg syndrome.
Oh,
And so it's like, okay, I got to move. So I'll be moving my leg, in the airplane, like in an airplane, or like in the bike. Well, it's like you can hardly, move
yeah.
around.
Can you
So I
even, like, scoot around, or are you just
Well, no,
solid?
because you know what I'm afraid of if I scoot? Well, the bike better not go that way or this way.
I know I don't know how you do it. I really
Well,
that's
my
crazy.
saving grace is that generally we stop like every hour or every hour and a half just to stretch, you know.
Mhm, mhm.
But sometimes, sitting that long, I'm like, okay, my butt needs a rest.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
that's
I love riding. Would we do the ride again? Absolutely. So what was the point of all this? We got into this thing. What?
no, you were just saying what you were doing. Just
Huh.
another thing that you did this summer is went on your motorcycle ride, and yeah, I think that was really cool. And then you've also done the LPA
Oh,
conference.
yes.
When
I,
was
I want to
that?
answer this one question. Someone asked me, is this the orchid Karen gave to, Chris and I when we invited Karen and Matt? I should say Karen and Matt. Is this the orchid that Karen and Matt gave to us when we invited them over to the house? Yes, it is. This is the orchid that Karen and Matt gave to us. It is still beautiful, still flowering, and all that stuff.
I
So,
have the same one. Did I tell you
oh, yeah.
that? I have the
No.
exact same one. I got it for Mother's Day. It's purple and
Oh,
it's been
yeah.
in my office window.
Well, I do not know enough about orchids, but
Oh,
when it doesn't bloom, I'm not sure what to do with it. So someone had asked that question on IG.
yeah.
It goes by too fast. So
Yeah, they all want to know how
yeah.
your dad is doing.
That was where it brought to this. So because I took the motorcycle trip, Chris has played poker with all of these guys for eons, years and years and years. Every 5 years they take a big trip. So we're going to Italy. We're leaving August 26th, coming back the 7th, and we're going to Italy. I'm so excited because we'll be in
That's good.
Florence for a few days, like September 3rd through the 6th, 7th. But we're going to stay 2 hours south of Florence. So that's more in the Tuscany area. And that's an
Oh,
area I've never been to. So I'm really excited for that. So I'm really disappointed that I can't go back to Michigan for my 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks summer fling. So I'm really, really bummed because that's when I go and hang out with my dad, hang out for about, a few days, just he and I. And so I'm going out there in August for my nephew's wedding celebration in August.
nice,
So
nice.
I'm going to be out there on, North Lake area, hanging out with my dad. We'll go to my nephew's wedding celebration the next day, hang out with my dad, and then I come home that Monday. So
So
yeah.
he's just moving right along, right? Nothing in his way. He just keeps going like he's driving and
No, it is. I think one thing I noticed from my dad, the older he gets, because he's not 93 and a half years old,
that's awful.
um, he's losing motivation. And that can be a scary thing the older you get, because what does that mean? Well, my dad and mom they kept busy all the time. So he's
Mhm.
looking out at all of these weeds in the yard. Well, I gotta go pick the weeds. I said, okay, Dad, yeah, but man, I'm losing because he's seeing
Oh,
the whole entirety of all these weeds that grow like wildflower in Michigan.
oh,
And
oh,
I'm like, well, Dad, just don't think of it as a whole big thing. Just do a little bit. Okay, go in, whatever. Pick some
yeah.
more the next day. It's like, don't think
Take your
about you
time.
having to do it all in one day because, come on, 93 and a half, I'd be
Um,
tired.
I think they go stir crazy. I mean, my dad
Yeah.
passed at 93, but at 92, I mean, he had full on Parkinson's, and he
Well,
lived at
that's a
home.
different thing. He had something, yeah.
Yeah, but he could not stay in the house, and I had my oldest son living with him just to keep an eye on things, and my
Yeah,
dad crawled down the stairs to get out of the house to pick the weeds in the rose garden.
yeah.
He was not gonna be held back, and,
Because
you
that's
know,
what that generation, it's
I
like
couldn't believe
they
it.
gotta be doing, they gotta be moving, they have to accomplish something.
Mhm,
So, yeah.
mhm.
Your dad, I'm sure, is just like my dad. They have to be
Oh, yeah.
busy,
Oh, yeah, all
you
the
know?
time.
Well, I'm praying that, my dad hangs in there so that next year when I go back, I'll probably go back in January too. I usually do. But next summer, he'll still be able to go up north and, I'll spend a couple of weeks out there. And so I told him, I said, well, Dad, you still got to be around, man, because
He
I'm coming
will.
back.
He's a strong guy. He's a
Yeah.
strong guy.
Yeah.
Well, we've had a ton of questions on here. Are you going to get another dog?
You know what? I am looking for another rescue dog. What I have found though, during COVID, everyone got a dog. After COVID, maybe not so many people can care for their dogs now because they either have to go to work, they're not at home anymore. So a
Mhm.
lot of the dogs, which I think find is so sad in the rescue shelter areas that I have seen here in Oregon, are the bigger dogs, the harder dogs. It's just like anything else. The older you are, the bigger you are, and some of the dogs that people don't necessarily know how to handle or are considered harder.
Right.
Um, so I really haven't found that dog yet, but I also know I'm traveling. So I'm going to be proactively looking when we get back from Italy. And Chris doesn't really want another dog. He thinks we're going to be doing all of this traveling.
I
I'm like,
thought he did. I
well,
thought he
he
did.
does and he doesn't. But I said, don't worry about it. Just like your fish. Well, guess what? I'll take care of the dog poop.
Ugh. Well, speaking of fish, one of the cutest scenes in the finale was when you and Chris put the whole aquarium together. And then
Yeah.
the frogs came in, and Jackson said, "Oh, I'm naming it Jet." A
Yeah.
bunch of people have said that was so cute.
Yeah. Well, we just had the family over the other day and showing them pictures of our Alaska trip and everything. And I'm not going to tell you what Jackson said because I'm sure they're going to use it in the clip or the episode. Um, and Yeah, use it in the episode. So I don't want to spoil it here, but I tell you, Tori said the cutest thing of why he named the frog Jet, and I'm
Why?
like, oh my goodness, it reminds me of why Chris named every fish he has Henry.
Oh, that's right. He's had like 4 Henrys at
So
least.
that should give you a clue. So
Interesting.
anyway,
Interesting.
but yeah, but
Let's
no,
see.
it was cute, and I just think it's
Well,
adorable as to I'm just so pleased how Chris is getting into the family thing because he's never had family or kids.
yeah.
And, the grandkids are embracing it. My kids are embracing it. And I'm happy about that because Chris does it out of sincerity. He doesn't do it for any other reason.
Uh,
And
I have to say that for people, I mean, they come into your house, they see your life, and Chris is newer on the scene, but he
yeah,
is the best guy that I mean, it was just a blessing for him to come into your
he
life. I
helps
have
me
to
be
say that.
neater,
He's How's your office doing?
which
Just
can
kidding.
be, which is needed, people. Okay, it is needed. So
He is the
yeah,
nicest guy, and talking about that, you're on your 1 year coming up on your 1 year anniversary.
yeah,
How did that happen? We were just
yeah.
planning your wedding.
A 1 year anniversary, and we're both turning 60. Okay,
Wow.
people. There are days where I look at myself and I'm like, oh, yeah, you are 60. Oh, God.
Welcome to
There,
my club. I turned 60 last year.
there are other days where I'm like, oh, gosh, no way am I 60. And then, yeah,
Yeah.
but I
How
think
did
it's
that
all up
happen?
here. I think just like you have to do in certain other stages of your life, um, I think I'm just trying to be, which I don't know, hasn't been so great after the motorcycle trip. Like my dad, I got to get my motivation back to walk, watch my food content and everything because, you know,
Yeah.
Italy's coming up.
Yeah.
But besides Italy, it's just I got to change the mindset
Just a
about
number, someone
quantity
said.
of food, what do I eat, and movement.
Yes.
So
So we had a guy, James Bubb, said, "Are there any bloopers?" Um, Before I finish that, we had someone by the name of Clarissa that was saying inappropriate things, and our moderator just blocked her. Just so you guys know, I know a lot of people are saying on here, please block
oh, I see.
Clarissa. So thank you, Naveed, for doing that, and we'll keep looking because there are some people on here that are doing some wild stuff. But
I'm
uh,
not sure what was
yeah,
being said, but
just
like
inappropriate.
everything else in life, um, social media is a tool, and just like everything else in life, the computer is a tool.
Yeah,
It's got a wealth of information, but you also can give a lot of information. And I always say, check within yourself. Is this good information to give? Would you actually say something like this to someone right to their face?
right. Just
And even if you would, is there a better way to say it? Like I said, I don't know what was going
yeah.
on because
But
half
we
the
got
time
it
there's no
fixed.
clip.
So yeah, we'll
But
look through.
but again, it's like, do we even have to go there, people?
And
I
who
mean,
knows if it is Clarissa? It could be some
we're
troll
we're
robot,
we're all just trying to do the
whatever.
best
We don't
we
know
can,
who.
and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, yeah. So anyway,
So back to James Bubb's
yeah.
comment. He said, "Are there any bloopers on Little People Big World?" Well, I'm not familiar with that, but we did make some really good bloopers last Monday when we filmed recipes for Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen. Do you remember those bloopers? We
No,
might have to find those. I know Naveed has the footage of pronouncing some of
the
the
only way
names.
that you could see bloopers is if Discovery TLC decided to do that. But because this is more of a documentary style and about a personal family's life, I don't think you'll really get a lot of that. Now, the one thing that has happened over the seasons, and I don't know if you go back to past seasons, if this will happen, especially in the last year or two, um, they internationally it's different than what it's shown here in America, in the States. And so when you see the previous episodes before you see the new one, you'll see some added additional footage
Oh, yeah.
that you didn't get to see here in the States when it aired for the first time. They'll add that little extra footage that the international got to see.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I
And
think, I
we,
think, I'm not sure.
well, I think we should come up with some bloopers of us filming those recipes, though, too. That
Listen, every
could be
day I'm live. Every time we do live is a blooper.
fun. And how about since they know they love your voice so much, maybe can you just say once previously on Little People Big World?
Oh boy.
Let's hear you say it.
Previously on Little People Big World.
Bravo, bravo.
Well, I tell you, no one believes me, but ever since I had kids, my voice has lowered. I'm
Yeah, mine
serious.
too. Mine too.
And I definitely know that if you don't keep up with singing, your voice can't hit those high notes.
Yeah.
But I in church and stuff like that, I used to sing soprano. People, I couldn't sing soprano if my life depended on it. Oh, another question that I get a lot is a lot of people are saying, well, why doesn't she use her married name? And,
I know.
stuff like that.
On here
I
too.
responded to a comment. I said, sometimes these ear headphones itch my ear. Anyway,
Oh,
um, I use my married name when it comes to legal stuff or bank and personal business and all that stuff. It's Amy J. Roloff hyphen Merrick. Lisa gave me some input along with some other people. All of my kids are Roloff. My grandkids will be a Roloff until they marry or whatever it is.
Mhm.
I want to. Roloff is my married name where I had all my kids and grandkids. I want to still be associated and tied, so later on
Right.
these kids will still feel like they're connected.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
legally, my name is Amy J. Roloff hyphen Merrick.
That's great.
I asked Chris, we talked about it. He goes, Amy, you do whatever you want. It doesn't matter to me. Well, a name is very important to me. I grew up, in a family where Knight, my maiden name is Knight, Knighd. And yeah, I heard it from my dad all the time. It's like you walk out that door, you're a knight, meaning you represent this family. Like, don't be an idiot. Don't be
Right.
stupid.
Your dad, I can just see your dad being
Oh yeah, can't you?
just,
And
oh.
so that has always stuck with me. Like, you do your best. Mistakes happen, and you just ask for forgiveness and apologies. But I
Yeah.
always say that individuals, you really need to look in your heart and really be honest with yourself. What was your intention in the things that you did or said, and learn
Mhm.
from it and move forward. Anyway,
I love
I'm a
that.
knight, always will be. It's
You're a
my given
knight.
name. But Roloff is the family name that my kids are associated with. So that's
Yes.
why I keep that.
Yeah.
Merrick is the name that I will die with because
Yeah.
that is who I'm married to now. But for business, it is Amy J. Roloff.
Amen,
So
sister.
hopefully
Don't need to
we can end
apologize.
that question.
Yes. Let's talk about cooking. You made a sorbet for you and Chris this week, right? What flavor was that?
Oh, yeah. I went to the farmer's market about a week ago. I was so thankful these raspberries still were good.
Ooh.
Made raspberry sorbet. In fact, a lot of you guys may have made raspberry sorbet or anything. I think it was one of the first times that I've made it. And
Mm.
oh, it turned out so good. In fact, we just got done playing pickleball with our friends Lisa and Art Fletcher. Get that, people. I have a Lisa and Art Dixon, and I have a Lisa and Art Fletcher. I mean,
I know.
what are the odds that one person would know a
I,
Lisa and Art and a Lisa and Art?
when we go to parties, it's like, hi, Lisa. Hi, Art. Hi, Lisa. Hi,
Oh my
Art.
God.
I love
Anyway,
it.
we played pickleball with them today. It was a filming thing, but I brought some of the raspberry parfait. In fact, see this right here, you guys. I've
Oh,
got a recipe out there for my granola. I love it. I could
mm,
eat that all day.
mm-mm.
I have to tweak
That's
the
so
recipe
good.
though because I in one of the directions I forgot to say add in your dried fruit. But anyway,
Oh,
excuse me.
but the sorbet was yummy.
Oh, the sorbet was good. It was good. I must admit, it was good.
Yum.
It was good.
Yum.
I could. The hardest part about making raspberry sorbet, you make the choice whether you want seeds in it or not. I chose not to have seeds in it,
That sounds good.
and
Yeah.
the time process to keep mashing, the
Oh,
puree through, like a little
oh, the little
strainer, like a
tiny.
yeah, like a mesh strainer.
Oh, oh.
That to me was the hardest thing about making sorbet. I did do it in my ice cream maker, and I'm glad I did. You don't need an ice cream maker, but it's a process you have to do too because when you just make it and you stick it in your freezer, you have the chance of having more ice crystals, and that's not good. So you have to take it out, soften it up a little bit, stir it up again,
Oh,
then
to
put it
make it
back
more
in there.
creamy.
Yeah, or a little more creamier.
Hmm.
And
Does anybody
so
have a hack out there for getting the seeds out? That might be kind of interesting to ask people. Put it out there if
I can't
you
imagine what they would do though,
have some kind of a
because you don't want to water
workaround.
down the puree of what you already
No,
did. So
no. Mm-mm.
anyway, it was good. I'll have a recipe out on it. And
Yeah,
coming to food, like what are you guys doing during the summer? I mean, like I love salads. You know what I got to
right.
do for recipes, people, because Chris doesn't like fruit with protein. I'm like, really? I like a dinner salad, like really. I think
Yeah.
what I have to do is make a salad, just put meat and potatoes on it. He'll be happy. And then on mine, it's like, oh, but what about peaches and a little feta and a little bit of
Yum.
this and a little bit
Oh,
of that.
or watermelon with feta and mint. Oh my
But
gosh.
if you want a salad with protein, but anyway.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Okay, what
I've
else?
had a lot of people ask, when is your cooking show on? Well, we have a YouTube channel, Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen, and so Amy's posting recipes there. And
Lisa knows more about that than I do.
well, people want to know. And right now on Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen, you can get a electronic version of her recipe books. There's two different
Volume one,
editions
volume
out.
two.
Yep, and we're working on a hardback cover for a cookbook, hopefully to be out for the holidays or the beginning of next year. So
But this
look around for
cookbook,
that.
to put it into context, this cookbook will really be all the recipes that I have done on the YouTube channel, Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen. So it'll include the electronic version of volume one and
Hmm.
volume two. So you'll have anywhere from 75, maybe 80 recipes, in there. A lot of
Yeah,
people have asked, they love the electronic, but they also want something
yeah,
that they can touch and feel and have in a open book, format. So
yeah. And we're going to put a journal page in each one of the recipe areas so you can write down, oh, I added this, or I did this, or made
and
changes.
that's and that's a part of a cookbook that I really love because it's what I do a lot of times. I'll definitely come up with my own, but how many different ways can you really make meatloaf? Everyone has their own version of it. So a lot of
Meatless.
times you'll look at the recipe and you'll make it exactly the way it is,
Yeah,
or you'll have an idea, okay, that's great, but you know what, I don't like this, so I'm going to add in this. So that journal page will give you an opportunity to make your own personal notes to
yeah,
personalize this recipe for your family or whatever you may be doing.
yeah. So that's
So I love that
exciting.
concept.
Yeah. And we have
Maybe
aprons.
good thought.
Yeah, and we have aprons on Amy Roth's Little Kitchen site. Just go and check it out. It's fun. But one of the things we're working on too is about once a month we do a cooking with Amy.
Oh
And
yeah.
if you subscribe to, and Naveed could maybe put that uh, up on the screen, the email to subscribe. We will be sending that out, and we'll pick 4 or 5 different people for each cooking with Amy, that so you could have an opportunity to cook with us. So Monday
Okay.
we're filming a new one.
Okay. Pretty soon, Lisa's going to give you guys the code for the giveaway,
Yeah,
but I
we're
know
getting
it's like
close.
5:10. I
Yes.
think I've got a meeting to go to in about a half hour or so. I
Uh-huh.
want to whip through some of these questions because we didn't get to all of them. So
No,
Lisa,
we
do you
just
want to
so
give
you
that
know we're
code now?
done. I
What?
think we should because it's 5:09. Is
Yeah.
everybody ready? Let's do the code.
We'll give the code now, and I'll whip through some of the questions afterwards.
Okay, sounds good. Are you really going to whip through them though?
I
Promise?
am.
Promise?
It will not be a book answer, people.
It's just a little thing between she and I. Just kidding. JK, JK. All right.
Did you
So
guys see the wedding episode? I wrote a book in my vows. Oh boy.
you had how many pages was your wedding vows? 8?
I don't know. Let's not
I
go
don't
there.
know. And they didn't show all of it either, just so you know, they edited some of that
Oh,
out.
they had to.
It was beautiful, but yeah. Okay, here we go. Ready? Drum roll. Heat wave is the code. Heat wave. Everyone can relate to that, right? So go ahead and put in the comments heat wave. We're going to take a person from YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And 4 lucky winners will get a vanilla candle with 3 body soaks. And go ahead and say that. We'll pull some people while Amy.
So yeah, so the key word is heat wave. Heat
Heat
wave.
wave. Woo, look at it
Oh,
buzzing.
Jackson,
People are,
Michigan. And then we're going to say hi to some people who have, you know,
yes,
been here. Okay.
yes.
Who designed, this is from G Madison 44 on IG. Who designed your backyard oasis? You
Oh,
know what? Oh my gosh. I am being so thankful for the previous owner of this house who bought this place back in, I think, 2007 and probably worked on this yard and we're benefiting from it all. I'd have to give credit to the previous owner. I love that the previous owner actually did something with their backyard. Chris and I love just sitting out there. We have this little, gas little fireplace. So when it gets cooler, we'll sit out there and have that going and hearing the waterfall and there's something blooming all the time, whether it be one plant or so. So anyway,
Well, you have a
I've got to
koi
give credit.
pond. Yeah.
Pardon?
You have a
Yeah,
koi pond back there
a
with the
little
waterfall.
koi fish pond. So
So
I've got to
pretty.
give credit to the other person.
Okay.
Okay, what are some of the activities you like doing during the summer? Okay, if you're asking me at my age right now, I love going for walks. I love going for hikes. I love seeing my grandkids and playing with them in the summer, whether it be in their little kiddie pool or sprinkler, or, who knows what. But I love doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
What is the
awesome.
biggest thing you've learned about your? Oh, sorry, I forget to name these people. I One saved by Faith, Nana B on IG. What is the biggest thing you've learned about yourself in your marriage to Chris? Wow. Um,
Ooh.
I think the thing I've really learned more of because it's probably easier is that I don't have the chaos of raising a family. I don't have the chaos of half our life being on camera. I don't have the chaos of, I don't know, other things. So I'm hoping that I'm learning to take more time to listen and to appreciate that he may have a different opinion. I may have a different opinion, and that's okay. I'm learning how to speak up more and have a voice
You
in
are.
the marriage and not to get what I want and have it my way, but just to have conversation and to talk. Um, and I think it just reaffirms that how not all the time, but um, I'm pretty well adjusted. I'm easy going. I let a lot of things slide because they're not worth quibbling over, and I did it in my previous marriage, I thought.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
And so is that I like being married. I'm married to a man who um, enjoyed what did you do? I wasn't even looking.
Remember I said if I rub my nose,
Oh God!
you need to go to
I
the
talked
next
too long.
question.
Anyway,
No,
I'm
I
glad
just kidding.
I'm glad I'm still learning, and I hope to continue to learn in Chris and I's marriage relationship.
Yeah. No, you guys have a great relationship. It's, you know, it's
One of the other questions
okay.
I had too was, oh, we didn't even speak about the LPA conference. Oh, I tell you, people, it's like a reunion. You go to when you last saw each other, you catch up by filling that gap, and it's like you never left. Anyway, the Little People of America conference in Spokane over 4th of July was wonderful, but we don't have time
Oh,
for that. The
oh,
other
well, just
question I had was,
okay.
would, sorry, well, I'm trying to cruise.
Well, I just want to ask, how did Chris like it? What did Chris
Oh,
think of the conference?
you know what? I try to prep him as much as I can because, it's like he knows me, he knows Matt, he knows Zach, little people, he knows my grandkids. But when you go to a little people conference and you see like hundreds of them, it can be a bit overwhelming. And people, just like the regular world, just like the, outside world or whatever you want to call it, we come in different size and shapes and everything else as well.
Yes.
So how do you prepare someone for that? But I tell you, he had a good time. Oh, he had the best
I
time.
love it. I love
It's
it.
like he got to meet some of the people that I've known for a long time, and I think we're going to go to the Austin, Texas National next year. So
Sweet.
the other
Sweet.
question I got was, would we ever move from this house? And I think eventually we will move from this house. On the farm, I had a master on the main, and we did have a two-story, but that was okay. And I don't mind having a two-story, but I would like a master on the main. I want to have a good kitchen, kind of like what I have here.
Yeah.
And Chris would definitely like a shop area.
Oh,
And we
yeah.
definitely need a 3-car garage.
A
Am I
man
asking a
cave.
lot? Really, people, am I asking a lot? I don't
No,
know.
no, I
So
don't think so.
eventually, we keep looking, dabbling, see if there's anything out there eventually. I mean, prices are so high, so I don't know if we'll ever find such a place.
Yeah,
But
things
anyway,
need to settle down a little bit. The prices in
oh.
Oregon are just crazy. So, but so
Okay,
someone
what
was
else?
mentioning, is there a song called Heat Wave? Of course, there's a song called Like a Heat Wave. You know that song, right?
Oh yeah, heat wave, yeah.
Sing
And
it.
I know that a lot of you guys are facing some heat. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
being born and raised in Michigan, obviously it's not quite the humidity like a lot of you guys are facing down south, in Alabama and all that area, Mississippi. Um, and the heat wave, the heat that we're having out in the Pacific Northwest to me is a lot drier. So you guys are facing a lot. So I hope y'all are hanging in there and
yes. Praying
do
for
what
you
you can.
guys.
But to me, drink water. Drink
Yes.
water. So
Okay. Naveed
we
is
are
asking if we're,
ready for winners. So I appreciate you all being here. We're going to do shout outs to all of you guys from wherever you're at as well.
yes. All right. So let's have our winners. Naveed, start when you're ready. Post the names. Facebook, Kathy Tankersley Mason. Congratulations,
Say it.
Kathy.
Yeah.
Kathy Tankersley Mason. Go ahead and
Facebook.
uh, face from Facebook and email us at arlittlekitchen@gmail.com and send me your address and we will get a nice spa kit sent out to
Repeat
you.
the email again, Lisa.
Uh, Naveed took it off the screen, so
I know,
we'll
but
go
you
through
could
them again.
still. Yeah.
I didn't write it down. Did you write it down?
AR Little Kitchen.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant the winner.
No.
Ah! Your turn for YouTube. We're taking. Sorry. Naveed will put up
Yeah.
arlittlekitchen@gmail.com.
Okay.
Okay, you go.
Oh. Um,
We get a little rummy after about an hour and a half here, people.
okay, YouTube. Shani Kahili. Shani
Cool name.
Kahili on YouTube.
Okay.
Email arlittlekitchen.com with your address and
No,
information. What?
arlittlekitchen@gmail.com.
What did I say?
arlittlekitchen.com.
I'm sorry. arlittlekitchen@gmail.com. And that was Shaylee Kahili. And anyone
Okay.
else who's a winner. Or if you have any
Only
questions.
only the winners, okay? Because we get a list of the winners. So, okay, we have a winner. Twitter at GKL1961. Ooh, that's my year of birth. That's a good one. All right, arlittlekitchen@gmail.com. Okay, your turn, Amy.
Well, did that Twitter person know? Like, did we say it again? IGK 1961?
We'll put
Okay.
it up again at the end. She
Well,
said, "Yay." Cheryl
okay, good.
McCann. Her name's
Naveed, I
Cheryl
didn't get that
McCann.
last one. You got to redo that again.
Amy's all over the place. We're just all over
Okay,
the
here we
place.
go.
Okay.
IG Angela Bernstein at Angela Bernstein. Bernstein. So IG Angela Bernstein.
Okay.
Email arlittlekitchen@gmail.com.
There it
You
is, right
are,
there. Right
yes.
there.
So you guys,
Woohoo!
thank you. Thank you so much.
Congratulations,
Look at this.
everybody.
We got Tampa, Florida. We have
Woohoo!
heat wave in Louisiana. Who
Oh,
else do we got? Um,
love you more.
oh, get
Hola,
it together, girl. I know me, right?
Colombia,
Chile,
Chile, Clemson, South
Clemson, South
Carolina.
Carolina.
We're all a hot mess, someone said.
Well, you know what? It's not that not remotely, not even remotely could we be on the level of I loved it when Hoda and Kathy Lee.
Yeah.
or Kathy Lee and Regis when they did their little chit chat, stuff like that. Um,
It's
it's
fun.
easy. It's
Yeah.
fun. You talk about stuff that people can relate to, and one of these days I'll pick out articles or stuff that's happening in real life. But this is not political, people. I'm not getting into that.
No, no, no. This is good. And this is our community. Puerto
Yeah.
Rico, Scotland, Patmore from Scotland.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
we look forward to this as much as you guys do. I mean, it's just fun. It's just a lot of fun. So, Temecula, California. All right. So, Naveed, do you think you could post the winners one more time too, just in case they missed? He's our moderator and our producer. Awesome guy. He puts up with us.
We got Kings Mountain, North Carolina, Alberta, Connecticut, Roanoke, Virginia, I think.
Roanoke.
Idaho, Scotland, yes.
Okay, wait. Say Idaho again.
Idaho.
Why do you always say Idaho?
I don't know. Idaho.
I love it.
Tennessee, Minnesota, Idaho.
Nova
Uh,
Scotia, San Diego, Debbie
oh, Nova
Duncan.
Scotia, New Jersey, San Diego. Yes. I think my YouTube is stuck here
Oh, really?
because it's not getting past this one thing. Yeah.
Sometimes mine does that
It's stuck
too.
on yours. I don't know. I don't know what it is. So, if you are you guys still around on IG? I hope so.
Oh, it might have shut off. No, it's still going.
No, it might have shut off.
The IG.
Yeah. I
I'm
don't
seeing
think it's
Phyllis
going.
from Florida. Amy, you are
Well,
much adored.
I don't have it going. It's stuck on this. So many people have wanted request.
Okay, here's the winners again. Kathy Tankersley Mason for Facebook.
Yeah, it stopped.
You two is
Anyway,
Shani Cahill. Mine's still going, Amy.
mine's not.
Okay.
No,
YouTube
mine's
Shani
not
Kahili.
because it's not going up. I've got all
Twitter
these hearts, but
Twitter is Twitter at GKL1961. And Instagram is Angela Bernson, and she's at Angela Bernston on the screen here. And then again, we'll post. Yeah, Naveed's saying Instagram's working on his end. I see you too, Amy. It hasn't stopped.
okay, great. Well,
Keep
thank you
rolling.
guys.
Keep rolling.
I can't see where other people are at. It stopped on you.
Oh,
I don't
weird.
know.
Sometimes, like if I have a text come in or something, it'll stop the scroll on Instagram.
I haven't had that because I put that thing on. It just says
Weird.
view requests. There's over 60 people.
Oh, no, you don't want to view they're
Well, I
requesting.
can. I can't do that. So,
No, they're requesting
well, we
to
have
be.
Massachusetts, Milwaukee, Texas, Kentucky, Oklahoma, Michigan. So anyway, you guys, thank you
Very
guys
cool.
so much.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
almost 5:30. I've got
What?
to
Are you
get to
kidding?
yeah, I've got to get to an event.
Oh, yeah.
Um, as always, if you guys see the post on when we're going to do our next live, feel free
Yeah.
to not only ask questions, but even things that you want. Jackson, Michigan,
Topics.
let us know, things that you may want us to talk about, whether it be just about parenting, being a grandmother, getting older, just
Food.
life in general. I'm
Yes.
not going to get into, politics. So that's
No,
one thing I'm not going to do
no.
because that can just be a tunnel. What is it? The rabbit hole? The
Down the
tunnel
rabbit
that,
hole. Yes. Yeah.
it's just not a good place. We get too much of that, on however you receive your information when it comes to that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, just make it fun,
Subscribe.
just whatever. So
Yeah.
when you see our
Subscribe.
next live at any time, not only ask questions, but yeah, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen, and all this stuff. I'd love to stay connected. half the time I'm so focused on trying to come up with recipes. What am I going to make? What am I going to cook? Doing the video and that. But
Hmm.
I always try and make an effort to respond to your guys' stuff. So
Yeah, love it. Yep, and
yeah.
try out our new summer fudge flavors. We have
Oh yeah.
root beer float, orange cream, classic chocolate, and Oregon berry. Oh
I
my
know. Come
gosh.
on. Does
It
that not
won't be
speak
here for too
summer?
long. Yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
tell you. Yeah. Even
So,
melt the fudge a little bit and drizzle it over ice cream. You'll have your root beer float.
yeah. Yummy.
Or
Yummy,
take
yummy.
the chocolate fudge and make your s'mores. So you got your graham cracker, you got your marshmallow chocolate fudge, and your s'more. I mean, come on,
Yeah, very good.
delicious.
Yeah. And if you subscribe, you have an opportunity to cook with Amy. So
Yeah.
look for that. And
And we do
oh,
the cooking with Amy over Zoom, just to be clear
yeah,
on
yeah,
that.
it's gonna be fun. We're already Monday's our next one, so it's
Yeah.
already full. But yeah, and then one other thing we didn't touch base just very quickly is that we have military pattern face masks if people are still wearing those. And part of the proceeds are going to the oh my gosh, fallen soldier. What where did we maybe Naveed can put it up
I
on the
think it's either
screen.
wounded soldiers, fallen soldiers, something of that.
Yes,
And to me,
on our website.
I so am on board with that because I don't care where you are at when it comes to all of that, but people have made the choice to defend our country and sacrifice their life. Their families have sacrificed, and
Yeah.
that's the least we can do is to help them out when they
I
have
think Wounded
encountered
Warrior. I think it was Wounded
such
Warrior.
challenges.
Yeah, but
Wounded
there
Warrior Project.
yep, very cool. Yeah, so
So
check it out on our website and you can
I
get
just
your Army, Marines, Navy, Coast Guard that we have all those masks available. Okay.
and I just want to wish you all a very good rest of the summer. We might try and do another live before I actually go to Italy.
Yeah, let's try.
Um, yeah, yeah, we'll check on that. And then, but anyway, you guys have a great summer.
Yep.
Enjoy it. Enjoy being with friends and family. Enjoy being out there. Enjoy, what we're still able to do and stuff. So just be thankful. Just be
Yes.
appreciative. Be humble. Be kind. And I tell you, life can sometimes be a lot easier.
That's right. Yep. Be kind, think kind, and stay kind. All
So
right.
anyway,
Well,
all the best to you
5:30.
guys. Bye
Woohoo!
bye.
Love you guys. Thanks for joining us.
Okay.